Heimerdinger, known formerly as Professor Cecil B. Heimerdinger, is a Yordle and one of the most brilliant minds in Arcane. As a scientist and academic leader, he plays a major role in the development of Piltover, the City of Progress. Although Heimerdinger's early life and childhood are not deeply explored in the show, his long lifespan as a Yordle suggests that he has lived for centuries, giving him much experience and a unique perspective on life itself. Yordles are magical beings with a connection to science, invention, and curiosity, which likely shaped his path towards becoming a world-renowned inventor. He is deeply motivated by a desire to improve life through technology while remaining wary of its potential for destruction, influenced by events in his distant past involving catastrophic misuses of magic and technology. Heimerdinger is a founder of Piltover's Academy, where he serves as a counselor and member to rising talents such as Jayce and Viktor. He plays a critical role in guiding Piltover's progress through innovation and ensures that advancements remain ethically grounded. However, his cautious approach to technology, specifically hex tech, puts him at odds with the more ambitious Jayce. By the end of Season 1, Heimerdinger leaves the Piltover Council due to his reluctance to embrace Jayce's bold vision for Hextech. Disheartened but not defeated, he ventures into the Undercity of Zaun, and there, he meets Ekko and begins assisting him. Heimerdinger is defined by his wisdom, caution, and idealism, and his moral compass and fears of technology's dark side make him a complex and lovable character in the franchise. Vander serves as the father figure and protector of Vi and Powder in the Undercity of Zaun. He is a complex figure, embodying both strength and compassion, as he seeks to shield his people from the oppressive power of Piltover. Little is revealed about Vander's early life, but we do know that he grew up in the harsh and unforgiving environment of Zaun, likely shaped by the widespread poverty and systematic injustice that defines the city. This upbringing fuels his dedication to the well-being of his community, and through all of this, Vander is introduced as the unofficial leader of Zaun and is admired as the protector of its people. Before the events of the series, Vander led a violent uprising against Piltover, earning the nickname the Hound of the Underground. However, after witnessing the devastating consequences of this conflict, he abandoned his militant ways, embracing diplomacy and peace to prevent further suffering. During the beginning of Season 1, we see that Vander runs the Last Drop Bar, which serves as a safe haven for Zaunites. He becomes the adoptive father of Vi and Powder after the tragic death of their parents during the uprising. His dedication to protecting them, and also the community, often forces him to walk a fine line between resistance and cooperation with Piltover's enforcers. Vander's story ends tragically in the first act of Arcane as he tries saving Vi and his people from Silco, his former ally turned enemy, and Vander sacrifices himself, transforming into a monstrous shimmer-infused form in an effort to protect them. His defeat leaves a large impact, with Silco taking over Zaun, and Vi and Powder's paths diverging in the aftermath. Silco, one of the main antagonists of Arcane, is a ruthless yet deeply complex figure who seeks to establish Zaun's independence from Piltover. Little is explicitly revealed about Silco's early life, but it is known that he and Vander were once allies, fighting together in a rebellion against Piltover. Silco's experiences during this time shaped his extremist views, believing that true freedom for Zaun could only be achieved through absolute independence. His relationship with Vander fractured when Vander turned to diplomacy, a betrayal that left Silco scarred both physically and emotionally after a near drowning at Vander's hands. Silco rises to power in Zaun by exploiting the Undercity's despair, becoming a powerful crime lord. He uses Shimmer, a potent and dangerous chemical substance, as both a weapon and a means of control. Through this, he transforms Zaun into a growing force of resistance against Piltover, and his most significant act is taking in Powder after she inadvertently causes the deaths of Vander and her friends, and molding her into Jinx, a chaotic and dangerous woman to further his ambitions. Despite his manipulative nature, Silco develops genuine affection for Jinx, treating her as his daughter and showing vulnerability in his interactions with her. By the end of Season 1, Silco faces increasing tension as Jinx's instability threatens his plans. He is ultimately killed by Jinx in a moment of betrayal as she grapples with her fractured identity. His death leaves Zaun's future uncertain, with his dream of independence unresolved. Silco's ambition, charisma, and nuanced relationship with Jinx make him one of Arcane's most compelling and tragic characters. Vi, short for Violet, is a tough and resourceful fighter from the Undercity of Zaun. She is driven by loyalty, resilience, and a determination to protect those she loves. Vi's childhood is filled with tragedy and hardship as she grew up in the slums of Zaun with her younger sister Powder, and after their parents were killed during an uprising led by Vander, Vi and Powder were taken in by him and raised as his adoptive daughters. Despite the dire circumstances of their upbringing, Vi's love for Powder and their family dynamic was a source of strength. Her natural leadership emerged early as she took on the role of protector for Powder and their friends. She displayed a strong moral compass, often clashing with those who threatened their safety, but unfortunately, Vi's life is turned upside down during a tragic conflict with Piltover enforcers and Silco's forces, culminating in Vander's death and Powder's devastating mistake that leads to the destruction of their family. Overcome with grief and anger, Vi lashes out at Powder and is captured and imprisoned by Piltover authorities. Years later, Vi is released from prison by Caitlyn, a Piltover enforcer, to help track down Silco and the growing threat of Shimmer. Shimmer. This partnership reveals her inner conflict between vengeance and justice, becomes a significant emotional anchor. By the season's end, Vi faces the painful reality of Powder's transformation into Jinx. In her efforts to reconnect with her sister, Bale as Jinx's fractured psyche spirals further into chaos. Vi is left determined yet heartbroken, set on continuing to fight for Zaun's future while grappling with her family's fragmentation. Vi's resilience, strength, and love for her sister define her, making her one of the most beloved characters in the entire show. Jinx, formerly known as Powder, is one of the most complex characters in Arcane. Her transformation from a vulnerable and idealistic child into an explosive and destructive force is one of the main emotional elements of the story. Powder grew up in the Undercity of Zaun alongside her older sister Vi, and they were orphaned during a rebellion against Piltover, with the sisters being taken in by Vander, who became their adoptive father. Powder was a creative, bright, but insecure child who often relied on Vi for protection and guidance. She crafted improvised gadgets and bombs, hoping to prove her worth, despite her perceived shortcomings. Her life took a tragic turn during a confrontation with Silco's forces, where her homemade bomb accidentally killed Vander and their friends. Misunderstood and rejected by Vi in the aftermath, Powder was left emotionally shattered. Silco took her in, manipulating her pain to mold her into Jinx, a chaotic and unpredictable weapon for his cause. As Jinx, she becomes a fearsome enforcer for Silco's criminal empire. Her creativity develops, in which she starts creating devastating weapons, and her instability drives her to wreak havoc on both Piltover and Zaun. Despite her destructive nature, Jinx longs for a family bond, creating a fractured and heartbreaking dynamic with Vi, who re-enters her life years later. By the end of Season 1, Jinx reaches a breaking point, and she is torn between her loyalty to Silco and her desire to reconnect with Vi, with her ultimately killing Silco in a moment of confusion and rage. In this final act, she launches a Hex-Tech-powered rocket at Piltover's council, igniting the conflict between the two cities. Jinx is defined by her erratic brilliance, emotional vulnerability, and inner conflict. Her descent into madness reflects the show's main themes of trauma, family, and identity. Ekko is a resourceful and inventive character, known for his intelligence, bravery, and commitment to his community in Zaun. Despite his youth, he emerges as a leader and a symbol of resilience. Ekko grew up in the Undercity of Zaun, where he displayed remarkable mechanical ingenuity and a curious nature from a young age. As a child, he was friends with Vi, Powder, and their group, sharing their struggles and adventures under Vander's protection. Ekko was particularly close to Powder, often joining her in tinkering with gadgets and sharing a bond. His childhood, however, was ruined by the escalating violence between Zaun and Piltover. The deaths of Vander and their friends, along with Powder's transformation into Jinx, marked a turning point in Ekko's life, pushing him to grow up more quickly. In the years following the tragedy, Ekko becomes the leader of the Firelights, a vigilante group dedicated to combating Silco's criminal empire and the spread of Shimmer in Zaun. The Firelights embody hope and resistance, operating with precision and ingenuity under Ekko's leadership. He develops a deep understanding of his environment, using it to outmaneuver enemies. And here, we see that Ekko demonstrates exceptional combat skills, as seen in his dramatic confrontation with Jinx. This fight reveals his lingering feelings for his old friend and the emotional toll of her descent into madness. By the end of Season 1, Ekko allies with Vi and Caitlyn in their efforts to stop Silco, and his encounter with Heimerdinger, with Ekko now becoming his new pupil, gives Zaun a hopeful future, highlighting Ekko's role as a beacon of hope for his people. Ekko's intelligence, leadership, and commitment to justice makes him a very beloved character. Jayce Talus is a brilliant inventor and visionary from Piltover, whose ambition and ideals shape the technological future of the city. His journey is marked by innovation, conflict, and moral dilemmas as he grapples with the responsibilities of power. Jayce grew up in a humble family in Piltover, and his formative years were shaped by a near-death experience during a snowstorm, where he and his mother were saved by a mage using magic. This encounter sparked his lifelong fascination with blending magic and science, despite Piltover's strict prohibition of arcane practices. Through his hard work and intellect, Jayce earned a place at Piltover's academy, becoming one of its most promising scholars. His dedication to his research, however, often put him at odds with the establishment. Jayce's breakthrough comes when he discovers Hex-Tech, a method of harnessing magical energy through technology. With the help of his partner Viktor, he pioneers inventions like the Hex-Tech core and Hex Gates, revolutionizing transportation and industry in Piltover. These achievements elevate him to the Piltover Council, where he gains significant political influence. However, Jayce's rapid rise is filled with challenges. His ideals clash with the pragmatic demands of governance, leading to tensions with allies like Viktor and Heimerdinger. He is also drawn into Piltover's escalating conflict against Zaun, where he grapples with the moral consequences of militarizing his inventions. By the end of Season 1, Jayce is a conflicted leader. His alliance with Vi to confront Silco reveals his struggle to balance his vision for progress with the harsh realities of war. He pushes for peace with Zaun, but is blindsided by Jinx's Hex-Tech fueled attack, setting the stage for further turmoil. Jayce's ambition, intelligence, and moral struggles make him one of the show's most complex and intriguing characters. Ambessa Medarda is a powerful and calculating figure in Arcane. She is the head of the influential House Medara from Noxus, a militaristic empire beyond Piltover. Ambessa plays a key role in shaping the political landscape of Piltover through her strategic skills and ruthless philosophy. Ambessa's early life is not extensively explored in Arcane, but her origins in Noxus, a nation defined by strength and conquest, reveal much about her character. She rose to power through calculated decisions and a willingness to embrace the brutal realities of politics and war. This upbringing shaped her into a formidable leader, with little tolerance for weakness or sympathy. Ambessa's influence extends beyond Noxus through her daughter, Mel, who serves on Piltover's council, and Ambessa was instrumental in Mel's development, instilling in her a ruthless worldview to secure power and survival. However, their relationship is strained, and Mel rejects her mother's militaristic values, seeking a different path in Piltover's political sphere. In Season 1, Ambessa visits Piltover after hearing of Hextech's potential as a revolutionary weapon. She seeks to exploit this technology for Noxian expansion, pressuring Mel to support militarization efforts. Their interactions highlight Ambessa's dominance and her belief that strength and fear are the only means to maintain power. By the end of Season 1, Ambessa's plans remain in motion, and the escalating chaos in Piltover, culminating in Jinx's attack, helps aid her objectives. Her presence brings a great conflict to the story, and that might worsen as the show continues, as Noxus might make moves to seize Hextech. Ambessa's strategic brilliance, iron will, and complex relationship with Mel put her into a unique position of power. Mel Medarda is a sophisticated and cunning member of Piltover's council, using her intelligence and charisma to wield political influence. Her background and personal struggles make her one of the most intriguing characters in Arcane, as she balances ambition with her new moral awakening. Mel was born into the powerful Medarda family of Noxus, and her mother, Ambessa, was a ruthless figure who grew Mel to embrace Noxian ideals of dominance and power. However, Mel's softer, more compassionate nature clashed with her mother's worldview. After a traumatic event in which Ambessa executed a rival in front of her, Mel was exiled for her perceived weakness. This rejection propelled her to Piltover, where she sought to redefine herself and escape Noxian values. In Piltover, Mel ascended to the council, where she became a key political strategist and influencer. She played a pivotal role in championing Jayce's Hextech innovations, recognizing their potential to solidify Piltover's dominance. Mel serves as both a mentor and ally to Jayce, helping him navigate the political sphere while encouraging him to embrace bold decisions. Throughout the series, Mel's actions demonstrate her understanding of power dynamics, but she also begins to confront the cost of her ambition. Her growing connection to Jayce reveals her more vulnerable side as she struggles with balancing personal feelings and political strategy. By the end of Season 1, Mel's priorities shift as she considers advocating for peace with Zaun, differing heavily with her mother's militaristic ideals. Mel is a master manipulator and visionary, defined by her complexity, ambition, and evolving sense of morality. Caitlyn Kiramon is known for her sharp intellect, sense of justice, and dedication to uncovering the truth. As a member of Piltover's elite, yet also a champion of the underprivileged, Caitlyn bridges the gap between two vastly different worlds. She was born into the wealthy and influential Kiramon family, one of Piltover's ruling houses. Raised in privilege, she was provided with the best education and opportunities. However, Caitlyn's exposure to Piltover's systematic inequalities inspired her to reject the sheltered life expected of her and pursue a career as an enforcer. Her parents, specifically her mother Cassandra, were protective and initially disapproving of her dangerous aspirations. From a young age, Caitlyn demonstrated exceptional marksmanship and an intelligent investigative mind, traits that would later define her career. As a Piltover enforcer, she quickly established herself as a skilled investigator with a strong moral compass. Her journey in Arcane begins with her investigating the corruption and criminal activities tied to Silco and Zaun's shimmer trade. Her determination leads her to release Vi from prison, in which they grow strong feelings for one another. Through her alliance with Vi, Caitlyn ventures into the Undercity, exposing herself to its harsh realities. Her experiences in Zaun challenge her worldview and deepen her resolve to fight for justice, regardless of social divides. By the season's end, Caitlyn grapples with the chaotic consequences of Jinx's actions, including the attack on Piltover's council. Her bond with Vi evolves into an even more complex relationship. Caitlyn is defined by her empathy, bravery, and relentless pursuit of justice, positioning her as a bridge between Piltover's elite and the oppressed Undercity. Viktor is one of Arcane's most complex characters, whose transformation from a bright and idealistic scientist into a morally conflicted innovator mirrors the show's exploration of ambition and sacrifice. Viktor grew up in the Undercity of Zaun, enduring a harsh and isolated childhood due to his frail health and physical disability. Despite these challenges, he displayed exceptional intelligence and curiosity, which set him apart. His natural talent led him to work under Singed, a chemist with a controversial approach to science, where Viktor was exposed to unorthodox methods and the harsh realities of experimentation. Eventually, Viktor's abilities and determination earned him a place in Piltover, where he sought to use science to create a better future for both Piltover and Zaun. His personal experiences with hardship deeply influenced his drive to help others. Viktor ends up becoming Jayce's research partner, and together they develop Hextech. Viktor Viktor is instrumental in advancing the science behind Hextech, specifically in adapting it for practical use. However, his growing desperation to overcome his physical limitations and also to improve humanity pushes him towards dangerous experiments. As Viktor's health deteriorates, he turns to Hextech for a solution, exploring its potential for biological enhancements. This leads him to a moral crossroads as he begins experimenting with living tissue to achieve his goals. By the end of Season 1, Viktor is more isolated than ever, distant from Jayce, and haunted by the consequences of his experiments. His commitment to his vision remains unwavering, but his methods grow increasingly extreme, setting the stage for his eventual transformation into a more monumental figure. Sevika is a prominent figure in the criminal underworld of Zaun, serving as a trusted lieutenant to Silco. Her backstory, including details about her early life and childhood, are not explicitly explored in the show. However, her demeanor and actions suggest a hardened individual, shaped by the harsh realities of Zaun's struggles and the inequalities imposed by Piltover. Sevika first appears as a loyal but pragmatic follower of Vander. However, her loyalties shift when Vander opposes Silco's violent methods for Zaun's independence. Feeling Vander's leadership was ineffective in achieving meaningful change for Zaun, Sevika betrays him, aligning herself with Silco, whose vision she deems more radical and effective. As Silco's second in command, Sevika plays a crucial role in managing his criminal empire and enforcing his will. She is a fierce combatant, equipped with a mechanical arm powered by Shimmer. Sevika is often seen opposing many individuals in the show, including Vi, and her mechanical arm, enhanced by Shimmer, makes her a formidable foe. By the end of Season 1, Sevika remains loyal to Silco, despite his increasingly weakening control over Zaun. Her fate is left unresolved following Silco's death, leaving her position with Zaun's power structure ambiguous. However, her strength ensures her survival, and she continues being a worthy opponent in Season 2 of the show. Sevika embodies the harsh resilience of Zaun's people, navigating loyalty and ambition in a world filled with oppression and conflict. Thank you very much for watching this video, and if you enjoyed, make sure to leave a like, comment down below who your favorite character from Arcane is, and subscribe if you would like to see more Arcane videos in the future. Thank you again, and goodbye.